Welcome, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
Greetings, Henry.
I'd like to buy a horse.
I'm glad to hear it. We're badly in need of selling some. Have you looked them over?
I have. Fine animals.
The best there are. Is there one in particular you fancy? A wonderful Arab stallion.
Greetings, Henry.
Heavenly. When you look into those eyes of his, you'd swear he was human.
Surely you'll knock something off the price if I trade in my old one. I'll take that one.
Hey! God almighty! God save you, Henry. How are you, Henry?
Thank you, neighbour. You're a good Samaritan.
Huh?
Come here, lily liver.
All right, enough.
I'll slay you, you scum!
Water. The Christians, don't leave me to die.
Is someone there? No sign of anyone.
Vegetables, fruit, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come get 'em.
Good day, Henry. God be with you.
Can we do something about the price?
Well,
we can try it.
What do you say to this?
Well now, a little more and we'll shake on it. Aye, that would do it.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Sure, why not?
Agree?
Come now, just a little more and we have a deal. Aye, that would do it. God save you, Henry.
Be a bit more careful.
I'm from Skalitz, and, well... Could do with a bite to eat. I could do with a bite to eat.
way.
I'll just
Henry's
give you a
come to
quick
see us.
search.
Lost everything. My home, my family, my ideas. Merciful people.
What? Such are my orders.
As you wish.
Sorry for the hold-up, but it had to be done. You may proceed. Hey!
Come on up and take a look. I've got everything you need. Day, night, home or work.
My lord, I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Pribyslavitz.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
The men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord.
Greetings, lad.
The bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Merhoyed, and that's a much more serious matter.
Merhoyed. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Pribyslavitz. Bastards were probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. The villagers held them off, and they even took 1 captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Pribyslavitz?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a fuck what you call them. I want to know what they're fucking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
is just a pile of copper.
Kurva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Kurva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again, the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppelder.
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
If they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Merhayed wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Merhayed and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
Good day to you. What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. Now the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then the disease came.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Scarlets was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhof stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother, more and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. I'm looking for Matthias. He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias? The brigands got him, poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
Thanks. That'll be all for now. I feel quite hungry.
Now, if I can be of some humble service to you.
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked.
Plague?
Indeed so.
Thanks. That'll be all for now.
Look where you're going.
you're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melikar.
No, my God, no. Let me sleep.
Hey. Quiet as the grave here. go in, talk to Melikar. How are you?
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar.
Are you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Radzig won't help us with that. Any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No news has reached Rattay of any disease here. But I'm here now, and I can help you.
Well, since you serve Sir Radzig, you might be of some use. If anyone can be.
Tell me what to do.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
It might have crossed your mind to send someone there sooner.
People are barely venturing outside their own homes, they're so scared. And word has got around that the plague is raging here. If someone met us wandering about, well, I'd fear the worst. And besides, you're the envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla himself. Your word will carry more weight in the monastery than some lowly peasants.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I hold straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away. I can help her.
I don't want her taken, no.
There. You see?
What? Are you a quack?
Something like that.
Then go to it. Go!
Fever. Just like Melichar's wife. Fever. Just like Melichar's wife.
Go away. Leave me alone.
You're not allowed inside. Want to go in? Talk to Melikar.
Jesus, lad, what are you doing here? Can't you see the plague cross on the door?
I'm here because of it. The monastery sent me to help.
God bless you, boy. It's about time.
I need to know exactly what you're suffering from.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a dreadful fever. My wife, too. I recall almost nothing of yesterday. I was raving for most of it.
Is there anything else? Apart from the fever?
Well, forgive me for saying so. The shit just pours out of me. I can't keep anything in. I'm completely worn out. My wife's the same.
You have my thanks. I'll try to bring help.
Wait a minute, will you? I have one favour to ask.
So tell me.
I need to write my will. Can you write?
I might manage that.
Excellent. So get writing.
Yes?
I, Vincent, son of Vincent, grandson of Vincent of Merhoyed, do bequeath my estate and all my worldly goods to my wife Wilma. If my wife were to pass away with me, I bequeath all to my cousin Dobesh, at this time the cobbler in Janovitz. In no event shall my prodigal son Elia, the layabout and good-for-nothing, inherit a single groschen, all customs and traditions aside.
Should I write that too?
Yes, and then write, the executor of my last will is to be my good friend, Father Fabian, presently the parish priest at the Church of St. Martin in Sasso.
Anything else?
This will was written down by... What is your name?
Henry. Presently in fealty to Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, I never. That will add some weight. Here, take my ring, so Fabian will know it to be truly from me. You can never be sure nowadays.
Your son Elijah. What did he do to you?
Christ almighty! Trying to interfere, are you? What did he do? Everything. He was to be married, and instead he ransacked the house and ran off. The little fucker. Last we heard he was some jackhand in Sasso. Boozing, playing dice, lying and cheating for a living. Such a disgrace.
Where can I find Father Fabian?
Well, where do you think? In St. Martin's Church, of course.
All right, I'll head off then.
Yes. Go now. Go before you catch the disease. Then where will we be?
Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague cross on the door?
Please accept my condolences.
Thank you. My poor, good husband. I took care of him as much as I could, but this morning...
I'm sorry to hear that.
What do you need from me?
They sent me to the monastery for help, but I need to know how the disease shows itself.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak. And Melichar said the dead should be buried at once.
Of course I'll help you.
Thank you. We have to bury him at the back of the house. There's a lovely linden tree there.
I understand. I'll dig the grave there.
Thank you. When you're ready, come back. I'll say goodbye for now. Merciful God, grant his soul eternal rest.
It's done.
Thank you. Now please take him there. Oh, Lord.
What is it?
Will you please tell me about his illness?
Certainly. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like it'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. It must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.
Brother, dearest brother, is that you?
Yes, it's me, your, brother.
Everyone is nearly here. We need to get to Skalitz for the fair.
Tell me, brother, how are you feeling?
Wait, you're not my brother? You're one of those brutes. Brother, lock the door. They're back again. Please, God, no.
Brother, don't you recognize me? It's me. I'm your brother. I was gone for a long time. I've come back home for Advent, remember?
Yes, yes, I remember. Give me a drink of water, brother. Oh, I'm thirsty. Terribly thirsty. I feel like I'm burning in hell. I can drink a pitcher of water and right away I'm parched again.
he's here again.
Well, I never. Henry!
Hey!
Is it even him? Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
And I see you're not doing too badly for yourself. What are you up to?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa. But who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Rattay and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
Hey!
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Do you want something?
I do. And you look like the kind of fellow who knows a thing or two and wouldn't mind a bit of work that's not entirely... well, honest.
What's it about?
I'm looking for someone who knows how to dip her pockets. For a reward, of course.
Well, then it's lucky for you that I happened along. Who do you want me to rob?
There's a farmer who lives in the craftsman's yard. He made a killing supplying vegetables to the monastery. I worked for him for a while, but then he threw me out without even paying me for my labour. I'd like you to steal the groschen he owes me. And also a pouch containing an amulet he got from the herb woman. He's as superstitious as an old crone, so when he realises he's lost it, he'll have a fit.
Sounds easy enough.
It ain't quite that easy, otherwise I'd handle it myself. That fucker don't trust no one, and he's always looking over his shoulder. If you manage to nick his pouch and his coin, you could keep the groschen as a reward.
God be with you.
I'm here looking for a fellow called Elijah from Merhoyed.
I know him, but you're most likely to find him in some tap room on the square. He only comes here now and then.
Thanks.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. Of course, it's your own Skelett's folk need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. And that's not all. There was one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics and he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. That's all I can think of.
Is there somewhere I could sleep here?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
Here you go.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There's steps up to it outside. Your chamber is the one in the middle.
I'll be right back with that.
Oh, God damn it, my stomach hurts.
have to eat something. My insides are shriveled up with the hunger. It's too deep here. I'd like to order something here.
Uh-huh. And what do you want?
A bit of everything. Heal my wounds, have a proper bath. Oh, and my garments are in need of laundering.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
That's all for today. Two drinks for you, Thank you.
Huh. I know you. I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?
What?
Of course, my dream. You were in a boat made of bone, and I put a crown of thorns on your head.
All right. Tell me about this dream of yours.
That dream? Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my apprentice. my own pupil in the trade of miracles.
Oh, then I'm in luck.
On the contrary, I'm the lucky one. What's your name, young man?
Henry.
Henry. A powerful name. So, Henry, are you ready to become my apprentice?
What exactly does it entail, becoming your apprentice?
Oh, a lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great works of the ancients and devote your time to understanding your fellow men, listening to them, and learn to read their souls.
Nothing to it.
That's why God has sent you. So what do you say?
First, tell me, who are you, and what do you do?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant of Providence. Scholar or merchant, believer or heathen, I wander the world without home or family, with only my wagon, offering miracles to those that need them. That's who I am. Without home or kin, I wander this world with my wagon, providing the miracles that people need. Ointments, relics, aromatic herbs, rare spices, talismans and amulets for luck. All these things I have.
All right, I'll be your apprentice.
Wonderful! Oh, glorious day! I have a successor in my work.
So, how do you plan to start training me?
With a test of your practical skills.
Oh.
I have my eye on 3 rare objects of great value, but sadly they're a little difficult to obtain.
Go on.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck from a passionate player.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. All right, one thing at a time. About that tooth, it's going to be slightly more complicated, isn't it?
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic, of course. That's why I have an alternative solution.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery, and it just so happens
How did you find out he has a sore tooth?
as it happens, he told me at the tavern. But that's not important.
And how am I supposed to get the tooth?
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have to think of something. But maybe you'll be able to persuade him to let the blacksmith pull it.
Wouldn't that be swindling people?
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from Procopius of Sasau, then I'm cheating nobody.
Does it really matter whose tooth I bring, then?
Of course it does. The name Procopius in this holy land is shrouded with mystical powers. Sometimes I might play a trivial trick on someone, but I assure you, I'm no swindler.
Fine. I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
This topping out, what's that?
You're not a carpenter, it seems.
No, I'm a blacksmith.
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce or a conifer tree hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune and God's blessing.
Well, then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own homemade topping out right there.
You don't understand, young man. The topping out was sanctified by a priest, and it hangs on the highest church far and wide. You can't just replace it with a decorated branch.
Fair enough. That topping off is hung pretty high, isn't it?
Naturally. It hangs on the rooftop according to tradition. And the church is tall.
And how am I supposed to get it down?
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there somehow, didn't they?
Very well. I'll get it. This player's talisman. Where am I supposed to find it?
I actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a dice player who always has a cat's paw with him. That's supposed to bring him luck.